First forecast brought to you by Store It at Home, rent-to-own portable buildings. Today, a cool day, well below average out there. We only got to 70 degrees. We should be around 80 for this time of year. Get used to that. I think it's something we can get used to. Temperatures being just below the average are likely over the next couple of weeks before we really start to warm things up, and we'll take temperatures around 70. 49 last night, 56 is where we should be, and of course we're running almost a foot above average as far as rainfall goes. The good news, the next several days look relatively dry. Overnight tonight, 53 degrees, mainly clear skies. And after those dry stretch of days, well, there is more rain back into the forecast as well, some cooler air before a big warm-up. We'll be talking about all of that and more just a few minutes. Your ABC 31 News starts now.
Welcome to ABC 31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Rapids deputies are searching for a suspect who they say shot a man, kidnapped a woman, and later abandoned her. It's our big story on this Monday night. He's 29-year-old Albert Miklas of Boyce. He's 5'5", weighs about 175 pounds, and was last seen wearing a Nike logo t-shirt and blue jeans. They say he broke into a home on Highway 28 West in Boyce about 4:30 yesterday morning. The homeowner was shot and was treated for superficial injuries. The woman was kidnapped but later abandoned near Highway 121 and Valentine Lake Road. Deputies are searching for Miklas in the woods off of Highway 121. He's wanted for home invasion, attempted murder, kidnapping, cruelty to animals, and other charges. There's been another death in an officer-involved shooting in Wynn Parish last week. 50-year-old Kendall Lemoyne died over the weekend when deputies were attempting to serve a civil summons at the Hoe on Lemoyne Road when they reportedly encountered a man and woman armed and shooting at them. Deputies returned fire, and a 71-year-old Betty Lemoyne was killed there. State police are conducting the investigation into what happens. Natchitoches police say they've arrested several teens after reports of smoking marijuana at the Motel 6. Among them are Malek Jones, Reginald Thompson, and Demontrias Turner, all age 18. Police also took 10 others into custody, including a couple of juveniles. Alexandria police say they've arrested 3 teens in the armed robbery and carjacking of someone on 11 very early this morning. They include 17-year-old Melvisha Mitchell, 17-year-old Kawanda Kirkland, and 18-year-old Javante Freeman, all of Alexandria. Police say they pursued the vehicle until it crashed on Duhan Lane, and those suspects ran off. They're all located by 10 this morning and charged with armed robbery and resisting arrest. Kirkland was also charged with flight from an officer. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it might just save your life. The central Louisiana area is taking part in a program to encourage seatbelt use. ABC 31's Joanna Phillips has the story.
Recent statistics show that of the over 2,400 people in the Alexandria area, only 81% were wearing seatbelts. Fatality data from 2017 indicates that pickup truck drivers were involved in 7 out of 14 fatal crashes in Rapides Parish. Now, through April 26th, the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office and other local law enforcement agencies are participating in the Buckle Up in Your Truck campaign.
This campaign is for us to go out. It's first for awareness, to remind people that just because they're in a big truck doesn't mean they're safer and don't have to wear their seatbelt. Plus, we are doing an enforcement campaign, which we are concentrating on people in trucks, but we're also anyone who's not wearing a seatbelt.
Pickup truck drivers are most likely not to wear a seatbelt compared to other passenger vehicle drivers.
Trucks are 2 times more likely to roll over in a crash than a car is because of the high center of gravity. So when you do that rolling, if you've ever seen the state police's rollover vehicle, you can see that dummy thrown out either window. So that is the problem.
And currently, the fine for not wearing a seatbelt in Rapides Parish is $60.
We just always recommend people wear their seatbelt, and it is the law.
If you notice more law enforcement officers out patrolling this week, just remember, they're making sure you're wearing your seatbelt and staying safe. It only takes about 3 seconds to buckle up, and those 3 seconds could save your life. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
Governor John Bel Edwards and First Lady Donna are headed to Washington, D.C. today. to attend the administration's first state dinner with French President Emmanuel Macron. The governor notes that he's proud of Louisiana's French heritage and its vibrant culture. After being closed for several days, Pit Grill is back. The restaurant reopened its doors last Friday after repairing a few damages from a vehicle that ran into it. We got word from management the business has been steady since last week, but some people were unaware that they were back open.
It's been pretty slow, kind of steady, letting everybody know we are back open. But as far as I've seen, it's been pretty steady. I was excited that they opened back up Friday because I thought I was going to be without a job for a minute. But I'm glad they're back up and running.
Pit Grill on North MacArthur is open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Over the weekend, the Loser Club in Alexandria hosted a birthday party for one very special resident. Mr. Al Wilson, a Marine Corps veteran, celebrated his 96th birthday. The club decided to step up and help Mr. Wilson celebrate, which might have otherwise been doing alone. He also honored his military service with a special tradition of cutting the cake with a sword, done by the oldest and youngest Marines in attendance. Well, this weekend, kids joined a party at the zoo for some educational fun. Saturday, kids of all ages learned about the environment, wildlife, and natural resources with interactive booths, fun activities, up-close animal encounters, and little live music. Also this weekend, the Senla community came together for the Hollyfest celebration. Hollyfest started with the traditional walk and run and ended with a festival of colors. All proceeds from the festival go toward helping kids in the Children's Advocacy Network. This Friday, you can have a good time for a good cause. Really on the Red is switching up festival style this year.
Right. This is our first year. We're kind of doing a rebrand. So we moved to the riverfront at the amphitheater, completely different setting, completely different layout, and we're really going for the festival because what we've learned over the years is the walking element of the relay part. It used to be an overnight event, and you'd be out there till 5 a.m. Well, that was back in 1985 to the early 90s before technology, and we had so many pulls on our lives. And today we understand and we realize that the community really just wants to do a festival. They just want to go out and have a good time for a good cause. So all money, it's free to get in, but all the money spent is going to go to the American Cancer Society.
For more details about Relay on the Red, visit Facebook and type Relay on the Red into your search bar. Southern University got the surprise of a lifetime when music superstar Beyonce performed an ode to historically black colleges at the Coachella Music Festival. WBRZ's Brandy Harris has our story.
In front of thousands of people at the Coachella Valley Music Festival and streaming live to millions around the world, Beyonce's most recent performance was an ode to the culture of historically black colleges like Southern University. But it was this part that has the SU marching band, especially the dancing dolls, really talking.
I honestly cried, but it was like tears of joy because it was just like, that means she must have at least watched our videos.
It's called a catch-on, and the dancing dolls have been performing this one at football games for years. According to the band's director, using the choreography and style isn't stealing or copyright infringement.
We don't know who created what, but I'm glad she's just taking us as a whole and putting us in the mainstream.
Breaking YouTube's live streaming record with more than 450,000 live viewers, the entertainer took the doll's signature style to mainstream culture, which she's subtly done before.
We see high schools all the time do our catch-ons, and it's not really like a thing where it's just like, oh shoot, she stole it. It's really just like, wow, she actually recognized us.
Hamer says the influence from her performance has people all over the world learning about the university.
She's actually doing the whole HBCU culture a favor because they're going to Google us. They may have never heard of Southern University or any other HBCU, but I promise you, now they're looking us up.
Only one doctor brings health right to your home.
Every day is a new chance for change, and everyone can start right now.
Make an appointment with Dr. Oz. Check in for your daily checkup. Good morning, Central Louisiana.
Good morning, America.
Look for your local weather updates during GMA. Brought to you by LSUA. Find your way to A.
Well, Well, the nice weather is likely to continue over the next several days. An area of low pressure that brought us the rain over the weekend, well, it's well off to our north, not moving much, but that's good news because that's bringing in drier, cooler air to to end April as we go into the beginning of May. Sunny skies out there for the day tomorrow. Partly cloudy, a little bit warmer than today. We should be around the lower 70s instead of just at 70. Actually, there for a while, I wasn't even sure we were going to hit 70, but we did. We got all the way up to that mark for the day tomorrow, and then as we go into the day on Wednesday, another very nice day, very pleasant. Again, the humidity is going to be very, very nice as we go through it the rest of the week, but the bad news is it does seem to return as we go into next week. We might even have the setup for severe weather once again. This is our most active time of the season, really of the year, for severe weather is right now before it starts to get too hot, and then that severe weather really lifts northward into the country. So a few more clouds for the day on Thursday, but overall, the rest of the week is looking pretty dang good. That area of low pressure going to be in the western Carolinas for tomorrow. That cold front carving its way through the southeast, but here locally, dry, cool air still being filtered in. And you notice our wind direction tomorrow will likely be out of the west-northwest, so continental air once again. So that's always less humid and a little bit cooler than anytime we have the air coming off of the Gulf of Mexico. Our day planner tomorrow, 79 degrees, so a touch warmer than today, about 8 degrees. 71 through the noon hour and 78 by 5 p.m. But you notice that wind out of the northwest. That means the dew points will be relatively low. Then as we look ahead toward the end of the week, really going into the weekend, that's the next chance of rain. And you notice this big dip in the jet stream here. That's always going to be bringing us cooler air, but a big ridge off to our west. So as this dip in the jet stream slides off to the east, we'll have a high pressure build in and a big expanse of warm air going across the central part of the country for the beginning of next week. That's when the heat and humidity will likely return back to the forecast. Out there tonight, 54 degrees, mainly clear. Very nice night on the way. Our dew points down in the lower 50s. For the day tomorrow, dew points hanging out in the 50s. Temperatures, well, around 80 degrees. So again, feeling very, very nice, just a touch warmer than today. And overall, a 7-day forecast looking pretty good. It won't be until Friday that we see that chance of a shower or a thunderstorm back in the forecast. And you notice overall staying relatively cool or just below average until we get into, well, next week. Let's look at your 7-day and your weather forecast. Scott?
Ross, thank you very much. We know that carrying around extra weight puts your heart health at risk. Now it seems like the location of that fat is just about as important as the amount. With more, here's Janae Norman.
New research presented to the European Society of Cardiology today showed that those with extra belly fat, which is known as central obesity, have the highest heart disease risk. Even more surprising, people with a normal body mass index, or BMI, but with central obesity were 76% more likely to have major heart disease events than people who were mildly overweight but with normally distributed body fat. This includes events like heart attack, stroke, and death. This study included nearly 1,700 people who didn't have heart disease at the beginning of the study. Why does it matter? Scientists think the link is a combination of DNA and habits. Central obesity has been linked with being sedentary, sitting most of the day, and with low muscle mass. Genetics can make you more likely to carry your weight in the belly as well. So what should you do? No matter who you are, you can improve your heart health by walking more and making good dietary choices. And no matter your weight, if your waist is bigger than your hips, see a doctor to discuss your heart disease risk.
Get It Growing with Dan Gill, Thursdays on ABC31 News. Brought to you by Bayou Robert Co-op, serving farmers and ranchers since 1961.
Good evening and welcome back to KLAX ABC31 Sports. I'm Zach Seminar. The spring season is over for the Northwestern State Demons after the completion of a high-scoring Delaney Bowl back on Saturday afternoon. It was a balanced effort for both the offense and defensive units on a sun-splashed afternoon that saw Bryson Bork and Zach Krolchek earn offensive and defensive MVP honors. 4 quarterbacks threw to 11 different receivers for 458 yards and 5 touchdowns, with Shelton Epler leading the way with 143 of those yards through the air. Bryson Bork piled up 6 catches, 151 yards, while the Demons also added 229 yards on the ground. On the defensive side of the ball, Des Gray registers 7 tackles, while Krolchek added 5 with a sack and a pass breakup. Demons opened the season in late August at Texas A&M.
The thing that I saw was great competition on both sides of the ball, and that's what the thing that we talked about. Practice 1 is we wanted to be better practice 15, and I think once you go back and you evaluate spring, which we're going to do as coaches, that's what we're going to see.
I think we made a lot of progress. You know, we come in with new OC and DC, and everyone's learning the plays and trying to get a hold of things, and I think we picked it up really good, and we're both sides of the ball have produced, and so it's been pretty good, I think.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Join your community in the fight to end cancer on April 27th in downtown Alexandria. Relay on the Red is a celebration to benefit the life-saving mission of the American Cancer Society. Show your support and register for the Miracle Run 5K at the Louisiana Athletic Club April 28th. The race begins at 8 with finisher medals and all proceeds benefiting the Children's Miracle Network. You're invited to the 2nd annual Bow Wow Luau. Bring your dogs to the Alexandria Convention Hall dressed for a luau. Register in the Benefit Dog Walk and join the contest. Join us for a morning of family fun at Longleaf Hospital with bounce houses, dunking booths, and the 1st annual 5K Color Run. Come together and break the stigma of mental illness on May 5th. For more community events, visit us on Facebook or at KLAXTV.com.
There's a man out west who goes by the name of
Mr. West.
Mr. West.
Mr. West. James West.
James West.
How did you know? Oh, just a wild guess.
Hard secret agent.
Get down!
Hard cowboy. And all man. He's Jim West on the Wild Wild West.
Keep the change.
Here's weekdays at 4 and Saturdays at 5 on MeTV Alexandria.